Thrive is a Majestic Earth card out of the Terra First Strike deck. Its function in that deck is to compound the benefits of Terra's Might tokens. But in Constructed, this card has some pretty insane upside potential for several different builds. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and go again, a fabulous cast. And thanks so much for checking in today as we are talking a hot card out of the Terra First Strike deck. Currently the only place we've seen it. Fingers crossed that when his Armory deck comes, we'll see it there as well, so everybody can get their paws on that third one without buying two decks. But we're talking Thrive. Okay, so for 0, Earth action with Go Again. If an attack would gain attack this turn, instead it gains that much +1. So on the surface, an innocuous little card, except that this doesn't only apply to one effect, it applies for all effects on the turn. So it may not be immediately clear to everyone out there is that each individual Might token will trigger on Thrive. So Might tokens, of course, say at the start of your turn, destroy this, then your next attack this turn gets +1. Each one of those effects happens separately. In other words, if you had 2 Might tokens, you would get 1+1 off of Thrive, and then 1+1 off of Thrive for a total of 4 off of your 2 Might tokens. So let's go look at a very simple line out of the Terra deck itself, Seeds of Strength. So if you were to pitch a blue Earth to Seeds of Strength with reads for 2, create a Might token, and Earth Bond, if an Earth card was pitched this way, instead create 2 Might tokens. You would create 2 off of the card, Seeds of Strength. You would then have 1 floating, or potentially have 1 floating, to use Terra's ability to pay 1 and create another Might token. So what this means is, over the course of that turn, you will have created 3 Might tokens, which will be there going into your very next turn. So headed into your next turn, you have those 3 Might tokens just sitting there, and they pop at the beginning of your turn. So what you do is you windmill slam down your Thrive, and then on the next attack you throw, even if it's just your hammer, each one of those Might tokens will give their own individual +1, as well as an additional +1 bonus for Thrive, meaning that whatever your attack is, again, even if it's just your hammer, is coming in for a whopping +6. That's pretty impressive upside for just the one turn setup. Now let's fast forward to an even crazier potential upside. Let's look at Fire Breathing. Okay, so Fire Breathing is a 2-drop for 3. On the surface, that's not super great, right? But as an instant, for 1, Fire Breathing gains +1. And activate this ability only while it's attacking, meaning you can't use it as a popper. But what this means is, if we can go in with, I don't know, some E-Pots on the table or just a whole hand of blues, if you thrive into Fire Breathing, each resource you pay, that's right, each resource you pay gives you +2. That's pretty crazy ceiling on this for a 2-card, let's call it a little more than that because you have to make sure you have blues. But functionally a 2-card combo with a Wellbolt deck to make this happen. Again, get some E-Pots on the table for some extra bonus. Each one of those would convert to +4 for you. That's pretty, you can quickly exceed your opponent's ability to block on that turn. So in both previous examples, we were looking at functionally 1 attack coming in and how Thrive would interact with bonuses on that single attack. But Thrive itself, again, if an attack would gain attack this turn, not your next attack, which means that it's active for the entire turn. So all of our Earth folks out there should be remembering good old CMH, right? That gives +3 to all your stuff. Like someone like an LL Briar, I think is probably going to be windmill slamming this in, right? In Living Legend format. Because if you come with your Ravenous Rabble, your Snatch, you have a +3 off CMH and then an additional +1 off Thrive. So that threat, so in many cases, right, Briar's playing something like a Nimbleism, right, to give a +3 effective. You would only have to go 3 wide in order to make that up. Now, you have to evaluate on your turn when you use it, whether it is better than just giving a +3 and going Breakpoint. I completely validate that. But again, remember, you're potentially getting card draw, goes agains off your embodiments and stuff like that, because Thrive is 1/2 of an embodiment. So it shouldn't be too hard to at least get net neutral value off of Thrive by going 3 wide. If you can keep going off of that, remember, it's that incremental value on the attack. As opposed to just coming in for 10, now you're coming in for some weird 7 breakpoint. Actually, it'd be an 8 breakpoint, excuse me. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Potential to go wide? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But again, the upside potential of this card is really pretty crazy. So again, as I mentioned, you get 2 of these in the Terra deck, which is $14. So effectively, if you're buying it for this, it's a $7 card, right? And there's other stuff in that Terra deck that's worth it, so it's probably not quite a $7 card. But we will see. I wouldn't run out and buy 2 of them if you're trying to build it, because I wouldn't be shocked if it comes in his armory deck. But maybe not. Either way, there'll be plenty of first strike decks around to go backfill this if you do need to play it in your Living Legend deck or your CC deck, as it may be, because we haven't even seen all the Earth cards yet as the time I'm shooting this. So anyway, folks, that'll do it today. The upside potential on Thrive is pretty crazy, and I'm sure there's a lot of combos that I haven't talked about or explored. So let me know in the comments below, what combo are you most excited about with this card? How are you going to maximize the crazy value? Thanks for watching, my friends, and go Commando.